My name is Becca Daly, and this is my community accessibility project. The first location that I decided to assess was the United States Olympic and Paralympic Training Center. Now, this facility hosts well over 100 athletes year-round, both able-bodied and disabled, so it's very important that the whole of the campus is accessible to all different kinds of needs, from visual impairments, dwarfism, cerebral palsy, spinal cord injuries, amputations, just to name a few. So in this first image right here, we have a wheelchair lift that is in one of the dormitories. A lot of the building has stairs throughout, but it also has things like elevators and wheelchair lifts to help assist athletes getting around. In this image, we see one of the main staircases. The staircase is wide, with non-slip bumps throughout the whole thing, which is also a good tactile indicator to somebody who is visually impaired that there is something in front of them. And there are handrails on either side going the entire length of the staircase. Also, not really able to see here, but on the bottom and the top step, the stairs are yellow, which is another good indicator to somebody who is low vision that there is something coming up in their way. Right here at the USOPTC is a accessibility ramp up to one of the main doors for an athlete building, one of the training facilities, I believe for wheelchair basketball. So it's very important that they have an easy access ramp. You can see that the incline is very low, so it's very easy to get up. There's also handrails on either side, and there is an ADA button there by the door. Last images of the Olympic Training Center. Here we have the inside of an elevator, which has large print tactile buttons that also has Braille on it, which is very good for visually impaired individuals. And on this side, we have a bathroom door. The sign is large print and high contrast. And there's also Braille right here under the word women's. There's also the universal sign for accessible, and it is at the right placement for someone who is visually impaired to very easily be able to just reach out and feel for it. So overall, the United States Olympic and Paralympic Training Center is highly accessible, which is really exciting. It's very good for all the different athletes that live and train there. The next building that we're going to be looking at is Stars Gymnastics. This is the gymnastics facility that I trained at and now work at. There are over 1,000 active enrollments currently, so a lot of people go there. It was newly renovated to help meet more of the ADA requirements. So this is the sidewalk to the main entrance right here. You can see that it's very wide and smooth concrete, I guess. Can't quite find the right words I'm looking for. But this is very accessible to people in wheelchairs, which we do get a lot of parents and grandparents that come to view their child or grandchild taking gymnastics classes, and it's very good for them to be able to get into the building to watch. So right here are our two accessible parking spaces. These are new. They're not in the best location to really be accessible, but we have a very small parking lot, so I think the owners did the best that they could. There is a ramp getting up to the sidewalk with tactile markers if anyone is visually impaired, that they'd be able to feel it with a cane. And it is also van accessible. Right here we have the door to the women's bathroom. This is not very accessible. The door handle is good, but the sign is not very accessible to people with a visual impairment. The sign is really high up. It is not large print. It is high contrast, which is good, and it has no Braille, and it is not in a good space for someone to easily reach out to feel the large print or the Braille. So I would change that by placing the sign either here, here, or here on the door and making the print larger, as well as adding Braille to it. Here we see part of the interior of the main gymnastics facility. As you can see, there's a lot of uneven surfaces throughout just that one small corner of the gym. I think it would go a long way to kind of standardize the height of things within this facility. We have a lot of athletes that are on crutches or have amputated limbs, and they find it very difficult to get around the facility due to the height differences in the walking areas, and they fall down a lot, and that's not very good. So I think that's something that we should work to change. The final part of the community that I am looking at is my apartment complex. Right here you can see 2 of the accessible parking spots at the outside of the building. There are accessible spots all throughout the property, and they're very easy to find and to use. They have the international sign for accessible, and they are also van accessible. All right, right here is the interior of my apartment before I moved in. The walkways are wide, and the flooring is smooth, so a little bit difficult for somebody on crutches perhaps, but good for a wheelchair. And this is the exterior of the building. All of the outdoor entrances are ramp accessible, so that's pretty good as well. Not pictured because I wasn't able to get a picture of it, but the interior of the buildings, there's a first floor and a second floor, and the only way to get to the second floor is stairs, so that would be really good to be renovated and get an elevator in there. All right, thank you so much for watching.